All right, so first of all, notice we went from Y5 to Y7. We're skipping Y6. I know I gave you the notes for Y6. You don't need them. We're just skipping it. Anyways, then we're going right into Y7 because that's what we did here, Y7. Today, the notes for Y7. So this is a little bit different, but this is what you're asking yourself when you're looking at these problems. First of all, remember what you do to one side, you must do to the other, right? And we're showing our work. So when you're doing your IXL today, you're going to have to do it on a separate sheet of paper. You're going to write the problem down. You're going to show your steps, get the answer, move on to the next one. Okay? So can I add, can I multiply by a number or multiply by the reciprocal? This is basically what you're asking yourself on each problem. Am I going to add? What am I going to add? Am I going to multiply? And what am I going to multiply? Okay? So when you take a look at number 1, we have 9 is equal to 3x. So what do you think we're going to do? Add or multiply? Multiply, right? You just did a whole worksheet on this. You're going to multiply. What are we going to multiply by? 1/3, right? Because it is 3 times x, so I need to multiply by 1/3, and that way the 3's cancel, okay? And then we multiply over here by 1/3. So 1/3, both sides, and then I get 9/3 or 3 is equal to x. And if you think about it, 3 times 3 is 9. Okay? How do we get that though? By multiplying by 1/3. Number 2, are we going to add or subtract? Let me rephrase that. Are we going to add or multiply? Multiply. And are we going to multiply by 2 or 1/2? 1/2. So we have to multiply both sides by 1/2. Over here, the 2's cancel. So I have D is equal to, and here I get 5. 10 times 1/2. Okay? Hopefully you can do that on your calculator and get the right answer. Number 3, am I going to add or multiply? Okay, now some of you might look at it and go, I don't know. Well, then you got to answer your question. Can I eliminate adding or can I eliminate multiplying? And hopefully because you recognize it's dividing, you eliminate that you're going to add to both sides. Okay? So that leaves us then with multiplying. And then what are we going to multiply by? 3. So we're going to multiply both sides by 3. It cancels there. That's why we're doing it. And we get u is equal to 6. Number 7, add or multiply. Multiply and by 2, because we're dividing by 2, so we're going to multiply by 2, multiply by 2. Don't forget your total line, and we get 2 is equal to t. Now, I already know I'm going to redo these notes because I'm going to tab in between, so there's a space. And I like it when there's that space, but it's too late now. All right. Number 5, are we going to multiply or add? Add. What are we going to add? 6. So we're going to add 6. Add 6. Remember, over here, when we add, it zeroes out. So that's going to zero out, leaving me with the C equals 14. Number 6. Uh-oh. What are we going to do here? I said the word.
Change it to the opposite.
Opposite. Thank you. We're just going to do the opposite, right? Because we have a negative D and I want a positive D. So how do I go from a negative D to a positive D? I go opposite. So I do the same to the other side, get negative 6. And what did I do? I did opposite. Okay. Now, mathematically, okay, everyone have that? I'm going to show you something else real quick. Multiplying by -1 does the same thing as opposite. It's just a little bit easier for me to explain opposite sometimes. Oh. I normally would say, I never did that, but I have it recording, so I'm caught on video. All right,
You can just delete it.
I could, and do it again.
20 witnesses.
So, number 6, do you guys get that? See that? All right. Number 7. Are we going to add or multiply? Add. And what are we going to add? 7. So we get H equals 1. Number 8. Add or multiply?
Add -6.
Add, and we're going to add a -6. And we get Z equals -7. Number 9, add or multiply? Add. What are we going to add? 4. Very good. You have to understand, what do I have to do to get this to be 0? We have to add 4. So it is B equals, and then -6. And number 10, add or multiply? Multiply, and what are we multiplying by? 1/3. So you get K equals, make sure this, when you do that, you get -1. -1. All right, you are going to work Y7, IXL, Y7. Remember, on a separate sheet of paper. Show your work.
So